Oh, hey there, Repete. What you up to?
Oh, I was just looking at some old pictures from when we went on that canoeing trip last year. Remember how you fell in when you were reaching for that stick in the water?
How could I forget? I've got you here to remind me of that forever.
I know, we're lucky that way. Being able to remind each other of all the fun we've had together.
You can say that again.
Okay, we're lucky that way because we can remind each other of all the fun we've had together.
Oh, brother. What I remember so much from that day was learning how to paddle. Remember how we just kept paddling on one side? So it meant we kept going around and round in circles.
I don't recall that.
Oh, yeah. We kept saying, paddle on your left, your other left, Repete.
Yeah, figuring out the left and right is a pretty sticky wicket.
Luckily, Uncle Joe was sitting in the back of the canoe, and eventually he started acting like our rudder.
That's right. We learned that a rudder is what we need to steer us. If the rudder turns this way, the boat goes that way. I mean, could you even have a boat without a rudder?
Funny you should ask that, but yes, you can. In fact, the most famous boat in the Bible didn't have a rudder.
Come again, Pete?
That's right, the big boat that Noah built. It was a special kind of boat. It was really good at floating, but there was no steering wheel inside because that boat didn't have a rudder.
You mean Noah was stuck on that boat with all those stinky animals and he didn't have a way to steer that boat in the right direction?
That's exactly what I mean. Noah had to get on the boat with all of those animals, and all together they just had to depend on God to see them through.
I'm afraid I would have gotten impatient.
I'm afraid I would have felt helpless.
Well, I guess when you think about a mighty flood, Noah probably was helpless. He probably had no choice but to depend on God.
I guess in some ways that's a good thing. We're so used to coming up with our own ideas about how to solve every problem we face. I wonder what would happen if we really practiced what it meant to depend on God.
I wonder if I depend on God, if God would help me when I'm angry.
I wonder if I depend on God, if God would help me when I feel nervous.
I wonder if I depend on God, if God would help me find my way.
I wonder if I depend on God, if God will always be with me. Of course God would! I think that's what that rainbow in the sky at the end of the story is supposed to tell us. No matter what, God promises that we belong together.
And God keeps His promises.
I guess the hard work isn't knowing what God can do. I guess the hard work is knowing when we need help.
Yeah, like when you needed help getting back inside the canoe after you fell out of it reaching for that stick.
Yeah, I suppose at just a time like that. Come on, Repete. Let's go see if Uncle Joe wants to go canoeing this afternoon.
Okay.